This thing should be on default, so why is it not? There we go! Fuck a duck a dill! Well, shit, now I can, like, tweak this a bit, because it doesn't... That should be fine. All right. Okay. So there's 2 minutes wasted on this video where I didn't say anything. Hi! Welcome to... All right. Good thing YouTube has like a little editing thing, I guess. Hi! Welcome to the Bunny Perspective Live, or the Bunny Livestream. I'm one of the two. Hi! Welcome to the Bunny Livestream. I'm your host, creator, Michael Bennett, and we're going to talk about Deadpool 2. If you followed me on my normal channel and you liked the live stuff that I was doing, this is where it's going to be from now on. I'm going to try very hard not to make YouTube ban this channel. It's going to be very, very specific on what I do here. And if I'm going to do anything special, like have guests on, or specifically playing like a specific narrative game, because I think there's going to be a couple of narrative games I want to play regularly. I know for a fact Iron Liz is going to be on sometime this week. We're going to have a conversation about Doggos and Dragons. And yeah, so if you missed all that stuff, this is where you come and get it. Okay. How about we do this? I mean, I'm not going to edit this out, but sometimes I'm just out, but it's nice to have the sound effect anyway. There wasn't anything in there. Ooh.
Vintage?
Yeah, you get a little tasty, like a tobacco breath mint.
Right.
Any rate, yeah, because people love the taste of marijuana on other people's lips. Do you?
Well,
have I ever kissed you after smoking?
I think you have.
Did you notice a difference?
Not really.
Okay, good. Good to know.
We have baby birded before.
I know, baby birding's different.
That's fun.
Yeah. Any rate, hi! We saw Deadpool 2 last night, and it was great. I think in the future we're going to try to do...
Sundays.
No. In the future, I think we're going to try to do car reviews, and hopefully Phil will be involved in those. So we'll talk about that if we start doing more regular movie viewings, especially movies that are coming up like the Happy Time Murders. What was the other movie that we saw in the theater? What was that? Oh shit!
Sorry to Bother You.
Sorry to Bother You looks fucking good.
The hospital one.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I want to see that. Well, that would be a good one in theaters. It was called the Hotel something. It's basically a hotel that's a bunch of criminals go to.
I kind of want to take Dad to that one.
It sounds good. Any rate, Deadpool 2. Spoilers, we liked it. Oh, wait, spoilers are coming later. No spoilers right now. We liked it. It was very good. If you like the original, you're not going to dislike this one. It does a lot of the same tropes, like Deadpool narrating. It has a lot of references to the first movie, but they never feel like Ghostbusters or Ghostbusters 2, nothing felt put in there because there was an expectation that it was in the original movie that they needed to redo. I liked all the mutant stuff. I didn't realize how much I missed X-Men Universe, but I really have missed the X-Men Universe. I might actually go in, watch a few of the better latter X-Men movies, because I kind of gave up after the third one. Boy, that third fucking X-Men movie was bad. But I wanted to see Days of Future Past, and I wanted to see... I've seen X-Men First Class, and that one was actually really interesting. I'm kind of bummed out that never went anywhere, but I guess that makes sense because Sony's a bunch of idiots. So before we get into the movie, and Heather way in the background will attest to this, Fuck the Grinch.
Yes.
Fuck the Grinch. I don't know why I'm seeing goddamn Grinch commercials in the end of spring, beginning of summer, but fuck. They really, Illumination and Entertainment, really, or Illumination Animation, yeah, they're jamming a dick down their throat and puking on it. And it's fine if you're into that, but I'm not into it right now with this. Because fucking the Grinch sucks. Benedict Cumberbatch is the Grinch. Oops. Why? Here's my review of the Grinch movie when it comes out. Why? Why are you doing this? Why? Why would you do this? So, instead of seeing that fucking god-awful trailer, and I will say that I'd rather not see that trailer. There were these bumpers in between the trailers, like during the green general audience trailers before the red banner trailers, which were the two good trailers, by the way. The Grinch comes out and they do a bit. And one of the bits the fucking Grinch does is he says, here's my review of movie Nachos, which you're in a movie theater, guy Illumination who made the Grinch. They're trying to sell concessions, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So it's already like, all right. So, but I mean, I guess obviously you're supposed to identify with, or not identify with the Grinch because he's like an anti, but whatever. We all know because we're not idiots / we all force our children to watch it. We all know who the Grinch fucking is. So we all know he becomes a good guy. So blah, blah, blah. It's not a great idea for your mascot for in between your trailers to be shitting on your food concessions, which is, I'm sure, the big part of why people, like, why theaters can make any kind of money. So they sell you shitty food for
Literally
cheap.
shitting.
Yeah. And, like, so, like, popcorn is a great example of how long movie theaters have been fucking us. Because it's not hard to make popcorn. Anyway, so fucking, so this Grinch comes on. He goes, here's my review of movie Nachos, and he shows a picture of a poop emoji and makes a fart noise with his mouth. And then he goes, oh, they should make a movie about this. And I literally, and in the theater, I was mocking these every time they came up. Mostly just going, boo, right after they were done, because it wasn't funny. But that one, it was just like, you already made that fucking movie, and you know you made that movie, because you're, you know what I mean? Like, I get the joke that they're trying to make. Like, oh, hey guys, remember when we made the Emoji movie and no one liked it? Hey, do you remember when you made the Grinch movie and no one liked it? It's coming soon, you fucking scumbags. Jesus. Alright, so let's get to the movie proper. Deadpool 2. No spoilers part. Really good. Loved the X-Men stuff. Missed the X-Men stuff, like, more than I thought I would. Especially seeing Colossus in action was, like... Even in the first one, it was super cool to see Colossus. Because, like, in the original movies, he was, like, a teenager. He's relegated to, like, a guy who helps everybody out. He's barely in it. I don't even remember Colossus in those. Because they were so fucking focused on getting in the core characters that were from the cartoon or the video game. Because in those days, an obscure reference to the comics was not fucking gonna fly. Not like Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Not like... who's the other C-listers that were in this that were actual characters? Like Domino. You can't put Domino in a movie, in an X-Men movie in, whatever, 2002 or whatever the fuck that movie came out. Like, there's no way. You have to put in fucking Professor Xavier. You have to put in fucking Storm.
Wolverine.
Cyclops. Wolverine. And make sure the movie is only about Wolverine. I think they put in... And then the bad guys were like... Oh, who else? What else was it? I don't remember. But then the bad guys were you know, top listers. Magneto. Blob, which they barely did anything with. Toad, which they did nothing with. And Storm has the worst line in the fucking movie. What happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning? The same thing as everything else. Stupidest fucking joke. It's a non-joke. And to give it to Storm, I suspect because of racism and sexism. That's my suspicion. Why else would you give Halle Berry the absolute worst line in the movie? I can't imagine why. So the original X-Men, like, and watching Deadpool 2, it made me really miss Like, I really wanted an Xavier. I really wanted there to be a Magneto. I wanted there to be an X-Men thing. I want there to be a good fucking X-Men movie. But there aren't very many. And they really need to reboot. Or really invest in First Class and move those into the next generation and get us characters like Kitty Pryde and get us characters like, oh, even the guy, Morph, I think his name is, the guy who just changes his appearance, just like Mystique. Be nice to have that. Just, there's a bunch of characters that would be interesting to have. I'm like searching Gambit. There should be a Gambit.
That's what I was thinking.
Now, there is a Gambit in one of the shit movies that came out recently. But, like, it should be focused on Gambit. And if they bring back Wolverine, he needs to be a small, stocky dude with claws. He needs to be dumb. Wolverine is not Hugh Jackman. I know everyone's like, I still do not like fucking Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Didn't like him back then. Certainly don't like him now. But I hear Logan's a real good movie. But fuck, dude, those other movies, like, it's not that Hugh Jackman's bad at being Wolverine. Like, he kinda looks the part. Kinda. But he doesn't look the part. Like, he shouldn't be attractive in a conventional way. Like, he's a short stack Canadian dude who's like ripped and angry, and Hugh Jackman is ripped and he can be angry, but he's not like a short little Canadian dude. So all that stuff is in my brain watching Deadpool 2, and Deadpool 2 was the first movie in a long time that made me go, oh fuck, I really miss this X-Men stuff. Not the first Deadpool. Because the first Deadpool, it's just, wow, Ryan Reynolds was born for this part. Fuck, this is a good movie, etc., etc. And Deadpool 2, I think, is one of the best sequels in a long time.
Except for Super Troopers 2.
Well, and Guardians 2.
Yeah.
But that's Volume 2. But there aren't very many movies with the number 2 after it that are any good. With Super Troopers 2 was pretty good. And Deadpool isn't cashing in on nostalgia as much as he's just riding the momentum of that his movies are popular, which is good. I'm getting fucking sick of nostalgia. Like, I don't really want to see the X-Men done exactly as the old comics, but I really do want to see an X-Men thing that's treated with the gravitas and the intrigue and the humor and the good writing as Deadpool 2. What else about Deadpool 2? Before we get into spoilers. The casting was great. I don't think there was a bad casting the entire thing. Cable was great. Domino was surprise hit. Did not think I was going to like Domino one bit. Loved her. Domino was hilarious. Heather really liked Domino. I think you're bi. You get it.
I might be.
She's a little bi, I think. But Domino was hot too. Like, Domino was like, and tastefully hot.
Yeah, like.
I didn't feel like she was sexualized, except, she had her cleavage out, but yeah. Like, I'd have my cleavage out if I were her. She rocks good cleavage.
She's nice.
But yeah, she has, and they're 2 color eyes. The design, the tattoo / imagery around her other eye. All the stuff's really good. The treatment of her character was really good in the entire movie.
I like her scene where we see her power.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in spoilers. But yeah, like Domino was a surprise for me that I liked Domino as much as I did. But there weren't any characters I disliked, except the ones you're supposed to dislike. Let me think. Anything else before? What else can I say about it before spoilers kick in? Besides that, it's great and you should see it in theaters.
Good.
It is great and you should see it in theaters.
Yes.
Huh. I don't know. Ryan Reynolds is great. All right. Hey, if you don't want spoilers, all right, spoiler time. Deadpool 2 does not have the same story as Deadpool 1, thank fuck. Because Deadpool 1's story was barely a story. It went to the fact where his girlfriend gets kidnapped. So, first thing that happens in Deadpool 2, girlfriend dies. I was actually pretty annoyed by this watching it. I happen to know a few things about Deadpool. One being that Death is in love with Deadpool, which is part of the reason he can't die. And I was really hoping it would be revealed that his girlfriend was Masquerade, like she was Death the entire time. Super spoilers, it could still happen. Because of because of the post credit sequence, it definitely might still be a thing. And Ryan Reynolds is a big Deadpool fan, so there's no way he doesn't know about why Deadpool can, not die. So we had some really fun moments in this one. The very first scene is Deadpool blowing himself up, which I think is a very Deadpool reaction to what's going on. I thought maybe they broke up. I think that's what my initial reaction to I thought, oh, fuck, they're going to do this bullshit breakup thing and they'll get back together. Then, when it was revealed that the girlfriend just dies, then I was like, oh, it's a completely different retarded cliche. So that cliche was not great. I'm not a big fan of that cliche, the girlfriend dying as motivation. But having Deadpool dealing with grief was actually really interesting. I thought Ryan Reynolds did a really good job of merging legitimately being upset about his dead girlfriend and making jokes. The jokes were really good and macabre, and there's nothing wrong about that. But the trope of the character needs a different motivation, so let's kill his loved one, is really annoying to me. So take that with a grain of salt. I don't think the plot of the second movie is perfect, and I don't think it's original. I think it's basically 6 or 7, or not 6 or 7, 2 or 3, 4 maybe, different plot lines from different movies that are all kind of smashed into this. And because it has that variety of different things, you don't have a lot of time to focus on the fact that the first thing that happens to Deadpool is almost functionally a girl in the refrigerator. I mean, it's not a girl in the refrigerator because she gets killed kind of in a random event. But it is supposed to progress the male figure forward. And her death is supposed to make the male character more, inclined to be a good guy. Also, she was pregnant. Like, they were trying to get pregnant right before she gets murdered. Which I also thought was cliche as fuck, that Deadpool would want children. I thought that was dumb. But they needed this motivation where Wade will, shepherd Russell, the other protagonist, into being a good boy instead of being a bad boy, basically. And so I think it works. I don't think it's original as the plot goes, but I also don't think a comedy needs to have the most original plot in the world. And at its core, Deadpool is a comedy. It's an action comedy with gratuitous gore. And when you start having to add a bunch of descriptors onto what Deadpool actually is, or any movie for that matter, I think that's a good thing. I don't like movies that are easily summed up. I think that's why I've been avoiding Mother, because I know what Mother is. I don't need to see it to understand what Mother is. You know what I mean? There's certain movies where the summation of them is too easy. And I think that's where Deadpool 2 rises above that, because it doesn't hit an actual genre as much as it hits about 4. And those 4 genres, they do really well. The comedy is not bad. It is so fucking funny. Like, I don't want to spoil a joke, but I'll spoil a joke. Deadpool literally goes on a rant about comic books, and he literally goes on a rant about comic book writers who can't draw feet. And that was a Liefeld joke, and I lost it. I lost it.
He yelled out.
I couldn't help it. It was so good. I yelled.
Rob Liefeld!
I yelled Rob Liefeld at the screen, and it was really funny. Thankfully, it was a really loud part of the movie, so I don't think I disturbed anyone except Heather, which she was there to be disturbed by me. So
I'm always disturbed by you.
you are always disturbed by me. So yeah, so Deadpool 2. So you had that going on. Let's see. Let's talk about Cable. Cable was fucking way better than I expected him to be. I mean, he was perfectly casted. Because Cable, it's not that Cable is a nothing character, but he's not an interesting character. He's just a mutant from the future, like, as far as I've always been aware of him. But I don't read the Deadpool comics, and I know Deadpool and Cable become really close friends, and, like, because they're both mercenaries, and, obviously, Deadpool's the merc with a mouth. And, this movie really, really, without overdoing the fact that they're friends or whatever, like not overdoing the buddy comedy kind of cliches in any way that I could see, they did a really, really good job. Like, it was kind of like, there's this nice fun realization where Deadpool's like, hey, we could be partners, basically. It's where, towards the end of the movie, where Deadpool and Cable are beating the fuck out of these highly guarded, like these highly armed, referred to as pedophiles the entire time, which was really funny, guys that work at this orphanage. So the plot is, the plots are dead girlfriend, but what's interesting about the dead girlfriend thing is Deadpool is trying to commit suicide the entire movie, which is a very big subversion of the girlfriend is dead, you need to motivate yourself trope. So the first thing he does is he tries to kill himself, and when he goes, he blows himself up, he gets to the afterlife, and he sees her, and she goes, get the fuck out of here, and your heart's not in the right place. So the whole time he's trying to think of what'll put his heart in the right place. He realizes that it has something to do with this kid, because he goes and he tries to become an X-Men. He gets a very good suspicion, and a correct suspicion, because Deadpool is smart, that the orphans have been abused at this orphanage. And it's also later revealed that Domino was also an orphan at that orphanage. And she further confirms that, yes, they are abusive. So I thought that was a really interesting. I think there could have been more on that. I felt that was the only part that felt a little yada yada for me. I know why they didn't yada yada the afterlife scenes with Wade and his girlfriend trying to like him trying to figure out what to do, and her, like, they want you to feel an emotional connection to Deadpool, and I don't think that's wrong, and I don't think that they did it in a lazy way, because they did it with a conversation. They did it with like a real intention, as opposed to just a dead girl stuffed in a refrigerator, which is what it could have been. So again, even though Deadpool does these tropes, they do subvert them in enough interesting ways that you're not quite sure how it's going to go. For example, Russell, I was 90% sure that because they subverted so many other things, that Russell was going to kill the guy who's going to kill and then become an evil guy anyway. That was my assumption. I was happily made wrong. I like that Russell being a good guy is how the future is saved. And I like that Cable decides to stick around because his family's safe. He's okay with that. And if he stays in the past, his family will always be safe, in his mind. And he also thinks, maybe I can stick around and stop the world from getting completely fucked, which is cool too. Very cool ideas are happening in the Deadpool movie universe. So Cable's motivation is Russell in the future burns his wife and child alive. And Russell in the future looks pretty badass, I'll have to say. And the reason he does this is, again, he was abused at this orphanage, and his first kill, even though it's justified, is this old guy with glasses, like this old fucking scumbag Christian guy who's the standard X-Men hater. Like, he just hates mutants, and believes that these mutant powers are an abomination and all this. Deadpool rightly talks about how it's a metaphor for racism in the 60s and sexism and homophobia. The X-Men in general are. And so yeah, like what's so getting back to it, like the plot or whatever, there's certain things that played out in ways that I was really happy about. What was the cab driver's name? It's not Rahimber. Is it Rahimber or is it
Rahinder?
Rahinder was really good in this. I expected to dislike Rahinder, mostly because I thought, what was that guy's name? Peter? Paul? The random
normie?
Yeah, the random normie guy. Peter?
Yeah.
So Peter was, I thought Rohinder was going to be replaced by this Peter guy. And thank fuck, they introduced X-Force and then basically literally killed every single member of X-Force.
Like, right away.
Right away. And it's all because of Deadpool. It's all because Deadpool doesn't respect the wins. And Peter's the one that says, like, the normie guy's like, I don't know about these wins. I'm pretty worried about it. And that shit was really good. Really funny to watch Deadpool watching all of his compatriots die one by one. It was a great bit that never got old. And gave us the realization that Domino's powers are actually real. Because the bit before that is Domino says, I'm lucky. And that's what her mutant power is. And I think that you need to learn in the X-Men universe that if someone says their mutant power is something dumb, it might be really good. So Domino's scene where she shows off her mutant powers.
Just walk.
It's just, she's just walking and things are falling apart around her. She doesn't do any of these Jinx things that they did in Teen Titans, where Jinx like does a little flourish and like pink sparks go around something and you know for a fact that she did it. Domino's ability is just
pure dumb
doop,
luck.
doop, doop, walking along. And she's also combat trained. So she's like the most lethal person. Like, the more you think about how the potential of Domino is really great. Because even though, like, the brakes go out and her last-ditch solution is to crash into a building, it completely works for her. So, like, I like that even Domino is kind of affected by other people's bad luck, sort of. And I really like the idea of them bringing Domino as a character. Like, I would watch a Domino movie in a heartbeat. Especially if it was called Domino Friday the 13th and it's just her luck is inverted. Yeah. And it's just her trying not to die from the same... It's like, it's basically, it would be like, Final Destination.
Like, it would be... I think it would be like, she has to have one day where everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
And she
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, pretty
You call it Domino, Friday the 13th.
Yes.
That's the movie you make. And I think... And you need to make that movie soon. Because I think...
It'd be a good Halloween movie.
It would be a good Halloween time movie. It would be a good anytime movie, frankly. And you do need to plan ahead and release it on a Friday the 13th. Like, there's no way you can't do that. So, there's my pitch. There's a freebie pitch in there for you guys. I didn't know there would be one, but that's the movie. Domino, Friday the 13th. Her luck is inverted. You put Deadpool in it for sure. And it's just her, maybe her, Deadpool, and Colossus, or whoever, just trying to stop her from dying from her bad luck. Like, it's, and you do it, you make the movie take the course of a day. Smart. I'm a smart guy. I don't know what the fuck people don't pay me for. Alright, so, who am I missing? I said Cable? Oh, TJ fucking Miller. Oh my god.
Disappointment.
Who yells disappointed in a really dramatic way? That guy. Any rate, TJ Miller, fuck, dude, that guy used to be funny. Let me make some points of why TJ Miller used to be funny. A, yes, he's the camera operator in Cloverfield, and he's not very funny. Fine. But in the behind-the-scenes footage, he is funny. Like, me and Jason were watching, it was so fucking funny. TJ Miller is riffs on all of this stuff that's going on. It's really, really quite good, from what I remember it. And season 1 and 2 of Silicon Valley, he's very good in. But I don't know what the fuck TJ Miller's been doing lately, but his comedy specials sucked. Emoji Movie obviously sucked. And he is the worst part of this Deadpool movie. And he was not the worst part of the first Deadpool, because the villain was. The villain sucked. Like, he was just a terrible, lame villain. At least in this one, the villains were good guys. Just didn't know that they were good guys. And the only actual legitimate bad guy is, spoilers, the fucking Juggernaut!
Yes!
Sucks. I got spoiled on the Juggernaut being in this movie. So I hope that you have seen the movie before seeing this and know that Juggernaut is in this. Part of the reason I waited this long. As much as TJ Miller sucks, the Juggernaut being in this movie was fucking legit. We've never had a good Juggernaut on film. We had the guy who played Bullet Tooth Tony kind of pretend to be him, and then it was right at the end of that dude's film career, because he's like a former actual gangster. I don't know what the guy's real name is, but in was it Snatch that he's Bullet Tooth Tony? No, it's Lock, Stock, right? Did you watch Lock, Stock with me?
No.
Did you watch Snatch with me? Yes.
Yes, I did watch Snatch.
Who is he in Snatch? Is he Bullet Tooth Tony?
I think so.
Because he got shot a bunch.
Yeah.
And he golded the bullets and put them in his mouth as teeth.
Yeah.
Bullet Tooth Tony.
Yes.
Who is he in the other one then? Nope, can't remember. But he's in Lock, Stock. He's another assassin-y type.
Okay.
Like when you get introduced to him, he's wait, is that actually it? When you were introduced to Bullet Tooth Tony, he's bashing a guy's head in with a car door, right?
Yeah.
He does that in both movies. Anyway, because he answers it, doesn't he say "mushy mushy"?
Yeah.
Something like that, or Italian and whatever. So anyway. Juggernaut was really good in this. They did a really good job with Juggernaut. I'm glad that Juggernaut being released is the reason that Cable joins Deadpool. It's a legitimate reason to actually get Deadpool's assistance, even though Cable's very intent on still killing Russell. Yeah. So, but the Juggernaut's, I mean, he's barely in it. I think at the very end of the movie, I think you can see him getting out of the pool. So, there's like a pool of water, he gets electrocuted, and the guys are all walking off. I think in the very background, you can see Juggernaut getting up. I'm not quite sure. I felt like they used Juggernaut perfectly. I knew when it was maximum security it was going to be Juggernaut, but Heather didn't know. Could have been anyone in that maximum security.
It could have been
But biggest guy does imply maybe Blob. If not Juggernaut, it could have been Blob.
I don't know much about Juggernaut either, so.
Right, but you knew it was Juggernaut when you saw him.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
So wasn't Juggernaut in some other?
Yeah. He's in the third one. I was just talking about him.
Oh.
The guy who played Bullet Tooth Tony played Juggernaut in those other movies. And like one of the things he does is he goes, "Oh, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch."
Yes. And he's smaller too.
No, he's big.
Oh,
but he's not a CG monster.
Right.
Like that Juggernaut is accurate to how Juggernaut is in the comics, because Juggernaut is a giant monster of a man. And again, it goes back because he's Xavier's brother. It goes back to this thing where Juggernaut is this huge hulking beast and Xavier is this small, intelligent, handicapped person. So, anyway, moving on. The ending worked out great. I didn't see the ending coming, necessarily. I didn't see anything coming, necessarily. In hindsight, I can see where things are tropes. But during the movie, none of that mattered to me at all. And it was really good. The characters were all funny except TJ Miller. And even some of the scenes with TJ Miller were still kind of funny. There's a scene where Cable's threatening to torture him, and he immediately gives up their information, gives up their location and everything. That's fucking funny. I laughed pretty goddamn hard about that. And I liked, there's a joke where, what does Cable say? We need to negotiate something, and they all make sex jokes.
Yeah.
It was something like it was something negotiate a deal or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
And T.J. Miller and Domino say the same thing at the same time, which is over the pants mouth stuff.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
So at any rate, you're so cute, Mac. You're so cute. Stop barking at me though. So at any rate, he's used to me hitting the desk as an anger thing instead of a. So yeah, Deadpool 2. I'm trying to think what else on spoilers. The after credit sequence, Deadpool uses a time travel device to fix everything that he wanted to fix. Not everything. He still let a lot of people die.
Yeah.
But he saves Peter, who has one of the most hilarious death scenes. All the X-Force members dying was really funny. There wasn't a bad death in the lot. I love that there is a character that says he's from another planet and he just claims that he's better at everything than everyone else. And when he dies, he blows up in green blood or green blue blood to confirm he was an alien. Like he legitimately was from another planet. So you never know. What was that guy's name?
Oh gosh. Something Star.
Oh yeah, it was like Sword Star or Star Sword or Star Smith, whatever it was. It was funny. Then there was the Vanisher, which is a great bit. An Invisible Man bit is always really funny.
Yeah.
And when they reveal the actual joke, like Vanisher hits power lines and gets electrocuted, it's fucking Brad Pitt, which Heather caught, and I didn't catch right away. Yeah, fucking Brad Pitt was the Vanisher. That's a really good joke. There's another really good joke. I'm spoiling jokes, but I assume you've seen this. Where Deadpool is once again bitching about the studio not giving them X-Men, and in the back room there's like Beast and Cyclops and Xavier, and Beast is like, and slowly closes the door before Wade can see him. Oh my god. And then yeah, so at the end of the movie, Wade saves his girlfriend, he saves Peter. What else did he do? I can't remember what else he does, but it's really good.
I'd probably watch it. I'd probably watch that movie again if I saw it.
Oh, I want to watch it again for sure.
Yeah.
Now, that post-credit sequence, I hope it's canon, but does that not imply that Cable wouldn't have put the coin in his chest? Or does he just lie to Cable the whole time that his girlfriend's dead?
Maybe he just doesn't go on this adventure because...
No, he does. Because remember, he has X-Force.
Oh, right. You know, it might be. Like...
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be canon or not. I hope it's canon, and then I hope they briefly explain it in the next movie, or the next movie, too. And again, I hope it turns out she was actually Death the whole time. Or becomes Death or something.
Yeah.
Something like that, like where she... Like, it would be nice if we got some more of the cool comic book references. Because, again, there's a comic where Deadpool gets the Infinity Gauntlet, and it's in that comic they talk about how Thanos hates Deadpool because Death is in love with Deadpool, and Thanos is in love with Death, which is funny. There's this Deadpool, Death, and Thanos, which is another name for death, by the way. Thanatos is the god of death. So Thanos, Deadpool, and Lady Death are these main characters that are kind of fighting amongst each other, and I want more of that. I hope that happens in the next movie, just because I trust them to put in some obscure comic book shit. What else? We got anything else? We talked about the trailers briefly. I think I might do a reaction trailer to Happy Time Murders, maybe later today.
Well, we've already seen it.
I know, but I want to talk about it. It's like a reaction in discussing why it's an interesting movie,
and
because
why we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, because I don't know if most people know that Brian Henson has wanted to make an adult puppet movie forever. Like, he was talking about it, I think, in the commentary of Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh.
Like, it's been in his head a long time. A long time. And I know why. His sister, Jennifer, does an adult puppet show.
Oh, yeah.
In Florida. in Florida. So Jim Henson's daughter does puppet stuff, and it's a more adult thing. So I'm not surprised that Brian Henson has been
wanting to check in.
Yeah,
on the market.
But I'll get into that more later because I actually want to do some research before I actually. And I'm surprised the Happy Time Murders is being made. I really am, and I'm happy. I know a lot of people are going to compare it to Greg the Bunny, which is a fair comparison, but I think this is going to be better than Greg the Bunny, even though I think Greg the Bunny is perfect. I think it's a perfect show.
I predict a lot of people aren't going to give it as much credit as it needs to get because it's a recent movie with Melissa McCarthy in it.
Yeah, but I think the Ghostbusters thing's over.
I think so too.
Look at the 2 movies she's in that's coming up. She's in that movie, and then what's the other movie she's in where she's a...
Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Can You Ever Forgive Me? Those
I
two.
want to see that one.
I want to see both those movies, not in theaters.
No.
But I do want to see, unless we get Movie Pass or something.
Yeah.
And then if we do that, which we should, then we should go see it in like an afternoon. But yeah, so that's the Deadpool review with spoilers and everything. I'm going to chop up a version of this for the Bunny Perspective main channel. So if you're watching that on the Bunny Perspective and you wanted to see this live, there's a link in the description that will send you to where the live part of the Bunny Perspective is, because I'm now prohibited from streaming live on my regular channel, which turns out to be a mixed blessing because I would rather have a live channel and an upload channel so that people know what to expect from a live thing versus an upload thing. And future stuff like this that's edited and stuff will be up here as well. Probably post them on both. We'll see about that. I'm not quite sure how we're going to do all that stuff. But thanks for watching. If you're watching this is the unedited version that went on for 40 minutes. If you're watching this version, this is the kind of thing you might be able to expect from this stream. We're also going to play board games in the future. We're also going to... What else are we going to do?
Paint miniatures.
Paint miniatures on this stream. Paint and art in general.
Art, yeah.
We'll figure out a way to get music going so it's not so I don't get copyright struck as much.
We might get Trevor to write us some stuff.
I might get some background-y music. And Vaporwave seems to be okay for an underpinning. So we'll figure that out in the future. But, you know, when you're a small YouTube channel, you're not making shit for money. It's so easy for YouTube to completely block you and fuck you over. And they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit that there are reasons why you did what you did. They don't want to give you strikes. They just see you as a bot or something because your numbers are low and you're just streaming a thing. So I don't know. I don't know why I got the block. I'm really upset about it. I don't know if it's a mistake still or what. But yeah. So this is where the live stuff will be. Thanks for watching. Go see Deadpool 2 if you... Again, because I assume you've seen it at this point. Or save them pennies up for Happy Time Murders that's coming up. Or, what was that called again?
Which one?
The other one that was good. Sorry to bother you?
Yes.
Sorry to bother you would also be a good one. Thanks. Love ya. Peace out. Dudes.